silence. Paranoia crawling, gnawing from the inside. Whispers twisting memories, faces I can't trust. Shadows ride on cell walls, thoughts spiral, never rest. Each scream is a secret, every secret I won't tear myself apart. Teeth and nails, frenzy, demons feeding on fear, echoes in the pit, mind fractures, voices collide, meaning lost in haze. No end to the night, no end to the hunger. Soft pleas for mercy drowned in static. Laughter cracks and sobbing. No God, no hope, only cycles. Broken minds claw at nothing.
Hello. Hello, everyone. This video is about control. Control. And control matters in this realm. Control is something that's fought over. Is it just fought over at the very top? Is it just like the cliche where people fight and claw to climb that ladder and get to the top? And fight each other for resources, and go to war for resources, and fight for better jobs, better paying salaries, fight to become the CEO or the manager. Is that what I'm speaking about? Fighting for that kind of control, fighting for control over money, resources, oil, for example. That's the mainstream view of people. That's how the masses see things. They see it as a fight for control. They see it in very simplistic ways. That, oh, we had to go to war to get their oil. We had to do this, we had to do that. We're fighting with this country for this reason. Meanwhile, they're all Freemasonic. They're in Freemasonic lodges. They're Freemason brothers shaking hands behind the scenes and sometimes out in the open, like at the end of World War II. You've seen some of the photos if you've watched my streams, my shows on YouTube. The so-called leaders of the UK, Churchill. Roosevelt was the American. I don't know why I had Roosevelt in my mind, and Stalin. Joseph Stalin. Partying together and doing a three-way Freemason handshake, connected like a chain, like chain links, and they are like a chain. They call each other brothers. If you're a Freemason, you're welcome worldwide at any Freemasonic lodge. You don't have to be a Russian to be welcomed in. If you go to Russia, for example, and you're an American, or you go to the UK, or you go to some African country, or you go to Australia, it's worldwide. It's worldwide control through Freemasonry. Now, is Freemasonry the highest secret society? No, I would say it isn't. It's the most open one. But does that mean it's nothing? No, of course not. Every president except for I think one has been verified as a Freemason. So what does that tell you? It's not just U.S. presidents. Churchill was a Freemason. Joseph Stalin. They're all connected. All these countries are connected. They're not at war. The Cold War was fake. It was a psyop. It was a war on your mind. It wasn't an actual war. It's theater. They also call it theater, the theater of war. They also call it a world stage. They'll say leaders on the world stage, or even pawns on the world stage, chess pieces. They're playing a game. They show you a checkerboard floor or a chess floor. They play with you. They show you that much. They play with you. They play with your mind. It's a game to them. It's not a game to us. If you're not a Freemason, most people don't know the rules that they're playing by. They don't realize that these creatures are playing a game. But for them, it's a game that they play. They're all one already. They want you to believe that you're all one. They want you to believe that they could go to war with China when they're already one with China. Or that America could potentially go to war with Russia because of the Ukraine when they're already one behind the scenes. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice a little bit here. They're already one behind the scenes, one world system, New World Order, Freemason Brotherhood. It goes beyond just Freemasonry, obviously. Other secret societies like the Knights of Malta, Knights of the Garter, Club of Rome, on and on. There's various secret societies in various levels, in various degrees. It's a hierarchy set up that way on purpose, so that the ones at the top, have the most knowledge, and the ones in the middle have only need to know knowledge whatever they need to know to perform their tasks and duties like puppets. Politicians are puppets. They're not the quote elites as baby truthers keep calling politicians. They believe that congressmen and congresswomen and presidents are the quote elite. You're so wrong. You just keep repeating. That's why I don't respect baby truthers. They don't think, they just hear and repeat. They use the same language that's disgusting. Nothing is, quote, elite about these creatures. Nothing. They're disgusting. They're hideous. Even in terms of some of the things that leak out that they are into. Disgusting, hideous, degenerate, sodomites. They're not, quote, unquote, elite at all. At all. In their morals, in their minds, their behavior. Spiritually, they're not elite. They're not, quote, unquote, elite at all. At all. And I've always hated that term, but people these days use it more and more. Because the crop of baby truthers has gotten worse. Where they'll stay baby truthers for 10, 15 fucking years and keep repeating the same stupid shit. It's annoying and aggravating, but I don't think it'll ever change. I don't think it will ever change. People don't like to think. They like to hear, believe, repeat. So be it. Just because it aggravates me doesn't mean I'm going to stop you from doing it or that I can change your mind whatsoever. Excuse me. Pardon my voice. I think I might be coming down with a cold or something with my throat, my voice this way. But I wanted to record this while it was on my mind. And that's what sucks sometimes about this realm and the human body. You just can't control it. I want to work all the time and create things constantly. I wish I didn't have to sleep. I'm one of those people that does enjoy a good sleep. However, I have a lot of ideas for music, for videos, for websites, for channels, YouTube channels, things that I'm interested in. I'm never bored. So it does annoy me. Again, I can't control people and I don't want to. But it is annoying on YouTube. There's so many of these depressed creatures that are just constantly making videos saying how bored they are with life. It's a huge trend. And it's bizarre to me. Do they not have imaginations? Do they not have ideas, thoughts? Does nothing make them want to make something? Is there nothing within them? No passion, I just don't understand in a way. Now, they can be how they want, but also I have a choice. I don't want to be around depressed beings all the time. Now, is it different with friends that I've bonded with, that I care about, that are going through a spell of something like depression? That's different. That's different than a YouTuber that's a stranger that constantly makes video after video after video about being depressed. Now, could I choose not to watch those? Yes. I choose sometimes to cover them. The guy with the scooter, the black guy that hardly ever shows himself. He's just constantly bitching about being depressed and not wanting to make YouTube videos, but making them just for the money. He's not the only one. I cover that to show that there's a lot of young people that way in their 20s. I'm glad I'm not in my 20s. But I'm also glad that I'm not surrounded by people just constantly repeating the same thing. How they're depressed. How life sucks. How they wish they didn't exist. And those seem to be popular. People seem to love hearing that. It's very bizarre to me. It might be normal to you 21-year-olds, but it isn't to me. It isn't. And then others will try to group me in saying, oh, all Stephen does is bitch about life sucks. That's not what I do at all. I talk about the design of this realm. That's different from me talking about my personal life, how well I'm doing, how I feel, if I'm happy or unhappy. That's very different from what I do. It's worlds apart. Talcott and others will try to accuse me of that. Team Evil are the miserable ones. They're always miserable, even if they're trying to fake a smile and fake laughter and pretend that they're good. They're not. It's right beneath the surface. So I screwed that up. It's right beneath the surface. Having trouble speaking today and my voice is bothering me. Their violence and anger and hatred is right beneath the surface. It's right there to be seen and heard. And it leaks out. It comes out once in a while. Their mask falls off. It's a facade. They're miserable creatures. They're angry. They're miserable. Their lives suck. They don't have money. And I'm not saying money makes your life, but they wish they had money. Okay? It's obvious. Some of them have even said they wish they could hang out with billionaires instead of hang out on YouTube. That's their dream. They're miserable, envious, jealous little creatures. And oftentimes, they wish they could control others like me. They are control freaks. And that's what I wanted to get into with this video today. It isn't just the ones at the top of the pyramid or near the top, or what people would say is the top of the Illuminati pyramid is what I'm speaking about, that are in control or seek control or are control freaks. It isn't just Rothschilds and Rockefellers and bloodline connected families, royalty, the bloodline families, and the Illuminati bloodline. It isn't just that. It isn't just the middlemen and middlewomen in politics that are senators or CEOs would be middlemen. Even if they're making a $10 million, $20 million a year salary, they're still middlemen. And that is a lot of money, whether you're a CEO or an athlete that's a puppet. It isn't just them that seek control. It's ones at the very bottom. There's homeless bums in their vehicles that are control freaks, making YouTube videos. They live in their truck or their car. There's ones that live in dumps, like one in Baltimore lives in a dump. Total control freak, narcissistic, control freak, jealous, envious, rage-filled, short little psycho. There's ones on YouTube that obsess over me, and they're anonymous. They hide their identity. And I know who it is. Charles. They hide their face and their name and their voice. Because they're a coward. So they're anonymous, and all they can do is fixate on me and make videos about me that get watched, because they didn't get watched when they made videos about themselves and their veganism and their little tarot card readings from a deck spread out on their couch, and cat videos and their music and their fashion and all that shit. Nobody watched it. They had to talk about me to get attention, to get people to watch their channel. On their own, they're not interesting. They have no personality. They had to make a whole channel about me to get people interested and get their attention. But they are control freaks. They don't like that I have a personality and sense of humor. They're envious, jealous little control freaks. Little psychos, little narcissists. And that's what populates this realm. Now, it's not every single person. You got to pay attention. I didn't say all. I didn't say everyone is that way. But it's very common. It's more than you might imagine. It's more than many people might realize. They're around you. They're not just around me, is what I'm getting at. It isn't just on YouTube. I'm using YouTubers as examples because they're ones that we can both see and watch and hear and analyze. I don't know your next door neighbors. Otherwise, I might be able to mention them saying, oh, you've got one next door to you that's a control freak, or your neighbor across the street or down the street. Or if you're in the country, on your same country road, half a mile away, you've got one that's a control freak that calls the cops on you when whatever. They bitch and complain about whatever you do if your rows of corn aren't planted straight, or whatever the case may be. And there are country folks that are that way. There are, okay? They're worried about everything. And they're controlled even though they live way out in the fucking country. Because we're in a realm with beings that love to do that. That love to control other people's personalities, saying, how dare he try to tell the truth and have a truth channel and put truth out there, and he still laughs and is silly, and he'll dress up as iGuru characters, and he'll have a black Jesus, and oh, he's making the truth look bad. He's mixing in entertainment and comedy with truth. He's having fun. How dare he? He should be running his channel, The Sanity Machine, the way I want him to. He should stop doing that. I don't like when he does that. I don't like when he teases people. I don't like when he makes fun of us, Team Evil, but we'll make 300 or 500 videos about him, and that's fine. But I don't like what he says. I don't like when he laughs at people. I want to control him. I want to silence him. I report him to YouTube. I want to get the Sanity Machine kicked off YouTube is what they do. They're control freaks. They want to silence me, control my free speech, control my ability to do satire and parody and comedy, humor, control my laughter. They're the laugh police, and they're the food police as well, vegans. Like Jack Talcott and Demon Slayer, Charles Bryant. Food police, humor police. I call them the laugh police because they want to control what others can laugh at or what they can't. And he's part of the Rainbow Mafia that tries to control people's speech, calls everyone a bigot and a sexist and a homophobe and this and that and this and that, just like Mushroom does. That Lyode creature. A bunch of them do that. Do you want to be controlled by these creatures? The language you can use and them force you to use their pronouns. When you know that it's not a woman, they'll say, call me a woman, call me she, her. Force you. They want to force you to use words and call you what they want you to call them. Them or it, as the case may be. You understand? They also want to label you and label me. But I'm using myself as an example. They want to control my speech and say Stephen's a racist, Stephen's a sexist, Stephen's a transphobe, Stephen's a homophobe, Stephen's this, Stephen's that. And they've got all the leftist labels that are control mechanisms. from the Rainbow Mafia. They are leftists and Rainbow Mafia. They are petty tyrants. They're also the food police. Charles is a vegan. Jack Talcott's a vegan. They want to control what I can eat and what you can eat. Almost every vegan is a control freak. They try to shame people for eating what we eat or what we need to eat. Some of us tried veganism, couldn't survive on that diet. Some people got very ill very quickly. Some people's metabolism and bodies and digestive system and body in general require eggs, meat. All right? Maybe. I'm open to the possibility that maybe some don't. Maybe some can survive and do okay on veganism for 10, 20 years. Most people can't. Most people start to decline very rapidly after 5 or 7 years. Some can make it 3, 5 years and they're still semi-okay. But also there's vitamin deficiency induced psychosis, where that you can become very angry. A lot of vegans do become very angry. Not in the first month, and this is what they judge by. I feel great. I'm a vegan. I quit fast food. I quit eating. They'll say I quit eating McDonald's and Burger King and this food and that food, and they feel great. Fantastic after the first month or 2 months. Your body's still living on stores, though. Eventually, those run out. Your body starts to devour your own organs and your brain shrinks. Look into it. After 10 years, you'll have significant brain shrinkage on a vegan diet. Anyway, vegans want to control our diets. I've never wanted to force a vegan to eat a steak or eat some eggs or eat something, chicken or fish or cheese or any animal products like milk, cream. I don't force my diet onto you, no matter what my diet is. I'm not looking at your glass and your plate telling you should do this. You shouldn't have that, and trying to force you and shame you. They do. Vegans are the food police. That's what I call them. And a lot of lefties and feminists and LGBT, Rainbow Crew, Rainbow Mafia, are the laughter police. They want to control language and laughter. They're the language police and the laughter police, all right? They're control freaks. They're mental. They want to control what people can laugh at and not laugh at. That is mental. That's a control freak. There's something wrong with creatures that do that. They want to control other beings as much as a Rockefeller, if not more, a Rockefeller or a Rothschild or a Morgan or whatever family, a Vanderbilt, whoever. Do you understand? They want to control your basic ability to laugh at what you find funny and use language that you want to use to express yourself. They want to control you. And they're nobodies. They're not billionaires. They're not famous on the world stage. They're not Illuminati bloodline connected families or royalty. They're nobodies. And they have that audacity to try to control other people on the internet. Control their speech, their language, their laughter, their diet, their food. That is, by definition, a control freak. So a lot of these YouTubers running channels are control freaks. Do you understand? And I'm going to help you out with some nuance here. That's a favorite term of a lot of Team Evil. You don't have to have everyone in your home. There's a difference there. That doesn't make you a control freak because you lock your doors and because you want to invite in only the people you want in your personal space. There's a difference there. And I'm saying it this way on purpose to drive the point home. Leftists don't understand this. They want open borders, but they lock their fucking doors for their homes and apartments. Why don't you leave those open with a sign saying, let everyone in? They're mental. They can't understand these differences. You have a right to your personal space. It doesn't make you a control freak or a hateful person to lock your house door, set your alarm, have your door ring camera on or whatever, and outdoor surveillance, whatever you have, whatever system you have for security. Is protecting yourself and your loved ones. It's not hateful. It doesn't make you a control freak. It means you're protecting who's in your home, your children, your girlfriend, your wife, your pets, your cats or your dogs, your precious belongings that might have been heirlooms handed down for generations. Might be your own creations, your artwork, or just things that are special to you that were given to you as gifts. It might not be priceless. It might not be a $10 million fucking tiara, but it might be a watch that somebody gave you as a gift. It might be letters that you've saved. There's lots of things that can be precious to people. That's why you have your doors locked and alarm systems and various things. It doesn't make you a control freak for keeping out those that want to harm you and steal from you. It's the same thing on a YouTube channel. If I ban people that are harassing, that are trash, that are ruining my channel in the comments and in the chats, the live stream chats, that's protecting what I've built. That's protecting what is mine. That's keeping my chat high quality, not letting them degrade it to trash. That's doing what I need to do. That's not controlling them. They have the whole internet and millions of channels on YouTube to go to other than mine, to come to my channel to troll, to harass, to spew degenerate nonsense, to generally try to harass people in the chat, to try to ruin my live stream shows. That's what they're there for. I'm not being controlling by saying, I don't want you here. It's VIPs only. If I ran a club or a restaurant, I have the right to do that as well. To say, no, you're not wanted. I don't want your business. There's businesses that trespass people all the time. Restaurants, bars, even Walmart will trespass people that are being extremely rude, threatening, violent, disturbing the peace. There's all sorts of reasons why they can trespass you from their property. So my channel, I view it that way. It's something I've built, and I don't want strangers to come in, and I won't allow strangers to come in to ruin it. I have boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. It doesn't make me or my channel a control freak, or my mods on my channel. When they ban someone, I support my mods. I don't throw them under the bus saying, how dare you ban that person? You made a mistake. I'm never that way. I never bite off heads. I'm a pretty chill person. Even if they made a mistake in some cases, they'll say, sorry, Steven, I banned this person by mistake. I'll be like, no problem. I'll unban them. What was her name? They didn't deserve it, or it was a mistake. Mistakes happen. Sometimes keys get hit, or a button gets hit, or a phone's in a pocket and the screen wasn't turned off, or things happen. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes and texted people garbage at times when my phone was in my pocket, or butt dialed someone, or my girlfriend has butt dialed me at times. And then she'll be like, sorry, babe, I butt dialed you. And I'll be like, no problem, your butt misses me. That's the reason. And we'll laugh about it. That's the way I am. I'm pretty chill about this stuff. It doesn't get to me. I don't fly off into a rage the way these YouTubers, I suspect a lot of them do. The ones living in their vehicles, the scumbags, the narcissists like Talcott, the creepy characters like the rebellious meth puppet and others. They have rage issues and control freak issues. They try to control everyone. I suspect Jack Talcott tried to control his ex-wife, his son, everyone, his neighbors, his former co-workers, everyone he could, and he's a pariah in Spokane, Washington. And he had to move from there, the northwest, essentially northwest coast, all the way across America to the East Coast. Baltimore. Which isn't far south, but it's east and it's southeast from where he went, or it's almost as far away as he could have gotten from where he lived in Spokane, Washington. People run away and do that and hide. Quite often you'll see that, or people move to it sometimes to a northern isolated area to run from their past and their reputations and try to start over. But it doesn't change their personality. It doesn't change their narcissism and their control freak nature. They don't change even if they move. They don't change even if they quit drugs or alcohol. In fact, a lot of times they become worse. A lot of times they're less fun. They were more fun when they were on drugs or alcoholics. A lot of times they become angry pricks and control freaks when they quit something, and they want a medal from everyone, and they want everyone to change because they changed. They want to go preach to people, God, or preach this or preach that. They think they have all the answers. They silence people, they interrupt people, they backstage them 25 times a show. They can't take it. They can't take different views. They can't handle other people not agreeing with them. They're insecure control freaks. They're petty tyrants. They're dictators. They're dicks. They're pricks. They're twats. They're leftists. They're petty tyrants. They're dictators. They want to control us and force us to accept them and accept all of their views. They'll try to force you to accept that they're the second coming of Jesus Christ, if they can get you to do that. They'll try to force you to believe and agree with them that they're going to end all wars and create world peace. It's laughable. They're the fun police, the laughter police, the food police, the language police. They can't handle people having a sense of humor and personality and creating characters and personas. They can't handle people being creative and different than they are. They can't handle differences. They want to control. They'd control your mind and thoughts if they could. And what's the difference between these pissants that are nobodies and entities trying to control you? Entities, so-called gods, dictators of this realm. What's the difference? Why do you accept it just because they have a human meat suit? You wouldn't want to accept that from an entity, would you? An alien entity, something that you see out of body, something you might see during a near-death experience. You don't want entities fucking controlling you. Why would you settle for that or accept that with creatures on Earth on YouTube? I don't. I stand up to them. They're bullies. They're control freaks. And there's a lot of them. It's not just on YouTube. Obviously, I said that earlier. It could be your neighbors. It could be a family member. It could be a sibling. Could be one of your parents, your mother, your father. Could be an uncle or someone, a grandparent in your family that's that way. That's a narcissistic control freak. Could be your boss. Could be a coworker. You might have to work with one of these fucking assholes. You might not have much of a choice in a sense where you have to pay your bills and you're stuck. Could have been someone in high school, one of your high school teachers, a classmate, someone that tries to control you or bully you or stalk you, obsess over you. Like they do on YouTube, some of them obsess over me. Completely obsessed. They don't have lives of their own. And they're mental. Do you see what I'm saying? Control freaks are not just ones on television. And they're not just billionaire families. They're everyday zombies around you, demon tards, trying to control you and me, trying to control us. Trying to control everyone they can. Sometimes you'll run into a control freak when you're at a restaurant getting food. Wherever. It can happen anywhere. It could be at a bank. You could run into a control freak just about anywhere in this place. A control freak cop. Lest I forget to mention that. Teachers, cops, nurses, doctors. There's all sorts of people in different professions that are control freaks. All over. All over. Do you understand? It's very common in this realm. This realm has many control mechanisms. Religions can be control mechanisms with control freaks that attend your same church or the cult that you're in. It could be a Jehovah's Witness. They're very controlling. Very controlling. Governments are controlling. Police, laws, judges, the whole system here is controlling. The whole sewer matrix system is controlling here. Even our bodies are these meat suits are controlling. For example, do you control how many times you have to go pee in a day? You have to use a washroom, a restroom? No. You're at the mercy to your body. This whole system is a control system. What's the difference between the control freaks and narcissists and psychos at the top and the ones at the bottom, the pissants at the bottom, the peasants? I want you to think about it. Just think about it.